All right, hello and welcome back. Today, we're jumping into something big, something really personal and honestly pretty profound. We're talking about the search for a higher power. It's a question that has been on the human mind for, well, forever. And we're going to explore why it might matter more to you right now than ever before. So, to get us started, let's frame this whole thing with a classic phrase. You've definitely heard it, but I bet you haven't thought about it in this way. Okay, so you see this question on the screen, wherefore art thou higher power? And immediately your brain, my brain, our modern brains all jump to the same thing, right? We think it means, hey, where are you? We start looking around for a location, a physical spot on a map. But what if that's the wrong question entirely? What if we're completely missing the point from the get-go? And here's the twist. The key is that little word, wherefore. It doesn't mean where. It never has. It actually means why. For what reason? And just knowing that, just that one little detail, it changes everything about this conversation. So let's be super clear. We're not on some kind of cosmic treasure hunt looking for a spot on a map. That's not the game. The real question, the one that actually matters, is why? Why does this matter at all? Why should we even care? And shifting from where to why is the whole point of our explainer today. Okay, so let's zoom out for a second and get some perspective. Because this search for meaning, for something bigger than us, it's not some new age trend. It is a deeply, deeply human thing that goes back as far as we do. Think about this number for a second. 100 billion. That's the best guess for how many human beings have ever lived. Ever. It's a mind-boggling number, right? That's our entire human story right there. So if you've got this crowd of 100 billion people, and almost all of them, for all of history, have been walking in basically the same direction, searching for something spiritual, isn't it maybe a little bit arrogant for us to just turn around and say, nah, you're all wrong? You gotta at least ask the question, why were they all walking that way? And this is where the philosopher Herbert Spencer just hits the nail on the head. He basically says that the one thing guaranteed to keep you ignorant forever is contempt before you even investigate, just dismissing an idea without looking at it. So that's our challenge today. Let's not dismiss it. Let's actually investigate. Okay, so let's get into the meat of it. Why bother? Why even go on this search? We're going to break down 5 really solid reasons why this journey might not just be a good idea, but actually essential. Reason number 1, it's vital for your happiness. And look, this isn't some pie-in-the-sky abstract idea. We're talking about something that is directly tied to your well-being, your ability to handle the stress and chaos of, just being alive today. The great mythologist Joseph Campbell put his finger on a huge problem we have now. See, for thousands of years, people had these guidebooks, religions, myths. They were maps for how to get through the tough parts of life. But today, so many of us have thrown those maps away, and now we're kind of wandering through the woods alone, trying to figure it all out. All right, reason number 2, it adds this incredible, vibrant depth to your life. This isn't just about taking a box and saying, I believe this. No, this is about a fundamental shift in how you experience reality itself. The psychologist William James talked about this feeling, this presence of a higher and friendly power. He even mentioned how it can lead to the disappearance of all fear. You know the best analogy? It's like in The Wizard of Oz when Dorothy opens the door and everything goes from dusty black and white to glorious technicolor. That's the kind of change we're talking about here. Life in full color. Reason number 3 is simple. It brings meaning and purpose. I mean, it's a basic human need, right? We all want to feel like our lives matter, that there's a point to all this beyond just getting up, going to work, and going to bed. This search is all about finding that point. The writer Aldous Huxley basically said that our ultimate purpose, the reason we're even here, is to connect with that divine ground. It kind of puts your personal story into a much, much bigger cosmic story, which is a pretty cool way to think about it. Okay, number 4, and this one might be a tough pill to swallow for some of us. The idea is everyone worships something. You might think, nope, not me, I'm not religious. But the argument here is that it's baked into our DNA. We're wired for it. So the question isn't if you worship, it's what you worship. The writer David Foster Wallace gave this incredible speech where he just lays it all out. He says, there is no such thing as not worshiping. everybody worships. It's not a choice. He says the only choice we get is what to worship. And that choice, well, it has consequences. And this is what he meant. He said if you worship the wrong things, they will eat you alive. Think about it. Worship money, you'll never feel like you have enough. Worship your own body and beauty, you're going to feel ugly as you get older. Worship power, you'll always be afraid of losing it. Worship your own intellect, you'll live in constant fear of being found out as a fraud. See the pattern? They're all traps. And that brings us to our final reason, number 5. And this is a big one. It's that a sublime mystery is open to you. This has nothing to do with rules or doctrines. It's an open invitation. An invitation to experience something incredible, something mysterious that's right at the heart of everything. The scholar Jeffrey Kripal has this beautiful way of putting it. He says that underneath all our science and rational thinking, something truly fantastic seems to be shining through. It's like seeing a light peek through the cracks in the wall of our everyday reality. And this whole search is really about learning how to see that light more clearly. Okay, so we've talked about the why, but what about the how? How do you even start? Well, the key is to stop thinking so much about it and start experiencing it. The best way I can explain it is with a rainbow. So on one hand, you have the scientific explanation of a rainbow, right? Physics, light refraction, photoreceptors in your eye. All true. But on the other hand, you have the actual experience of seeing a rainbow, the awe, the beauty, that feeling that a dry scientific explanation just can't touch. That's what we're talking about. This isn't something you can just read about in a book. You have to experience it for yourself. So how do you get that experience? Where do you start? It can be so simple. Seriously, check out this piece of wisdom. Ask for help in the morning, say thank you at night. That's it. You don't need to know who or what you're talking to. The name doesn't matter. Just start the conversation. And that really brings us to the end with one final question. But this one isn't for me to answer. It's for you. We've gone through the why this matters for your happiness, for adding depth and meaning to your life. We've seen it's an invitation to something bigger. So the only question left is, what is the sublime mystery that's waiting for you?